Welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going to be trying to turn this box of bits and this bag of bits into a TT01. So first of all, let's see what we've got and what we need. Right, so I've been through, checked everything, and I've pretty much got enough for a full chassis. So there's going to be a few bits that are different. So we're going to stick some CVDs on it. I should have plenty of bearings to make a full set. Salvage the diffs out of the RX-7 chassis because that's got no drive shafts or anything in it. It's not going to be ran, just sits there with the body on. And also, we're going for friction shocks. Yes, I could put oil shocks on, but these are what I've got. And we're just going to make it out of what I've got. I'm going to try and give this chassis a bit more ground clearance, which is why I'm salvaging these broken shock towers. As you can see, that one's split there. And that one is snapped there. The plan is make my own shock towers, bring the mounting points down so we can put these shorter shocks on, but also give it some more ground clearance. The way you do that, trim these bumper holders down. That allows the arms to droop down further. So we'll see how that works out. The only other bit that was missing was these little A6s. And they sit on top of the ball, screw through the middle into the hub, stops it from sliding out. So instead, we're going to go with one of them, a washer on top, and then a screw. Remember, it's not a budge if it works. The first job, we're going to trim the bump holder down so we can allow the arm to droop down further. We're going to put an arm gearbox housing on, and then we can work out how far down we need to move the mounting point on the shock tower. So let's get that sorted. Right, so here we go. Here's the first bit done. As you can see, I've trimmed the bump holder down. And I've also just used a bit of the scrap that I cut off the bottom, just as a mock-up to test a few positions of the shock. And you can see how much lower that sits. If you look from the side, that's practically level with the bottom of the chassis. Looking from this side, I'd say we've got a good 8 to 10 mil difference there. There we go. It's already going to sit higher. We'll have to see how the drive shafts like that angle. Might be a bit steep, but if it is, all I'll do is I'll remodel it, move the mounting point up, and we'll go from there. Right, let's get one modelled, get one printed, throw it together rough, see what we got. So there's a shock mount, modelled, printed. As you can see, sitting a lot lower than it would have done. I think originally they were closer to being up here, but they're a lot further down now, so we should have more ground clearance. We've got the rest of the bits and pieces together. So electronics wise, we're going to go standard 540. Receiver, we're going to go with an E-tronics Pulse. Cheap Metal Gear high torque servo. And TEU 104BK. So next step, let's get everything cleaned up, we're going to replace these bushes with bearings, re-grease everything, and go from there. Right, so there we've got both diffs stripped down, cleaned up, bearings fitted, all re-greased inside as well. They're ready to go in. First step, we're going to get spur gear and prop shaft in. Now this spur gear might have seen better days. Worst case, it gets destroyed, I'll replace it. But for now, we're using what we got. So there we go, got the motor in. Now I've gone with the 22 tough pinion. Prop shafts in as well, bearings both ends. So you've got two on this side, one there, one on the inside, and one behind the pinion gear there. Right, so I've just fitted the top brace on there. I know this is already on there, shouldn't be on there just yet, but never mind. Now I'm going to fit the diff and the gearbox case in. As I've already got all this together, I may as well just fit it all at the same time, get the shocks and everything on there, get it all on, get it greased up. There's a rear gearbox housing, rear diff, rear arms fitted. Get this back end finished up now, get the cups, drive shafts and the hubs on. Then we'll make a start on the front. Right, so that's the first drive shaft on. We've actually got our first issue with the sharper angle of the drive shaft. Don't know if you can see, but the corner of the drive shaft are hitting the arm. Shouldn't have a problem on the front because we're going to be using these with the CVAs. So simply get a Dremel. I'm going to clearance these, swap them out, see if it's any better. As you can now see with the drive shaft cups trimmed, no issue there, so we're going to repeat the same on the other side. That's both of them done. So no clearance issues now. The full droop. Plenty of clearance obviously when it's compressed. Let's get the front arms and hubs on. That's now the front modified shock tower, front arms, bump holder on. Now I need to get the hubs on, front drive shafts, obviously the bearings as well, and my little bodge to replace this. Let's get them done. There we have front suspension on, drive shafts, so no clearance issues. No issues with the drive shafts binding up so far, even on full lock. So now we're going to get the steering on. We've actually got an upgrade for the steering. Get that thrown on, and then not far off. Now we have all the electronics fitted. One last thing to put on is the wheels and the body. Wheel wise, found a set of these rally blocks already glued on, so we're going to go for them. I've got a set of these as well, but I might put them on the other car. Let's get these fitted and see how it looks, see what the ground clearance is actually like. And there we have it, we've got the wheels on, so we're going to check the ground clearance now. So if you take a look at that, we've got 25mm. Now for comparison, here's my TT02B. And that has got 25mm ground clearance. that's what we've done. You give a TT01, same ground clearance as a TT02B. It should be interesting. So compared to a standard TT01, we've got just under 15mm ground clearance on that. All that's left to do, sort out the body post, get a body on it. Might throw my old 306 basher body on, and then take it out, see what it's like. Right, so we've got the body mounts on there. Rather than coming up with something elaborate to bring the rear post forwards to go through the original points on the 306, I've just used a set of, well, printed a set of original ones. So they'll go through the back window. And also I've decided to make a mount for the GoPro, so I can either stick it on the side, get a view, side view of the car, or on the roof as well. Hopefully we get some decent running shots with that. Made it so it can be fitted on either side and on the top. So that's it with the body mounted. So we've got the camera on there as well. Now we can take it out, get a run with it, see how it handles, see if anything breaks. So then, as you can see from the running video, it actually ran pretty well, and the ground clearance definitely helped. That was my friend driving. Yes, he crashed, and he did actually get it stuck in the sand, but oh well, that's literally sand, not rough grass and everything else. So as you can see from the running videos, it actually ran pretty well. I think the extra ground clearance definitely helped over the uneven ground and sticks and stones and whatever else was on the floor. It was actually pretty good. I think the angle for the camera on the side was actually decent as well. And yeah, it's still a bit dirty. Converted a TT01 to have more ground clearance for use off-road. Yes, okay, I know it's a 3D printed part, but if you haven't got access to a 3D printer, you can actually achieve the same results just by fitting longer shocks. But as I say, this was literally make it out of what I've got with longer shocks. You could go to the initial shock mounting point, which would be up there, and still get the same ground clearance just by chopping the bottom brace up. So there we go, that was my video on making a TT01 off-road, literally using spare parts and even making use of some scrap parts. If you are interested in the modified shock towers, you can use standard body mounts, they fit in quite well. Nice and snug. And then to fix it on, I've just used some 15mm screws, 3x15, as you need to go through the two lugs on there and into the other side of the gearbox housing. If you are interested in these parts, I'll probably put them up on MakerWorld so you can download and use them yourself. And on that note, I'm going to leave the video there. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go see what else I can bodge, and I'll see you in the next one.